Brother Nazim is a great trainer. 17 years in the game, Shane's going to pick up some bad habits that are going to be hard to break. And as much as Brother Nazim had the perfect plan for him, and you can tell, bro, you can sense Brother was getting frustrated every time they were in the corner. He's told Shane, like, yo, man, you got to show me something, or I'm going to do something I don't want to do.
You are who you are, player. You can try to change, but that's the top layer.
that was your Sean Carter?
Yeah, that's what. You are who you are. You can try to change, but that's the top layer. Guard Your Girl boxing recap. Shane Mosley against Pretty Boy Money Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather, man. I'm a little flustered, man. Such an exciting fight.
So you have so much drama-filled fight. How do we start this, man?
First of all, we're gonna give a shout out to the people who tune in every Monday night on Talk Shoe, because it's turned into a strictly degenerate radio show. People losing their jobs.
I like that word, degenerate.
Coming in to work late the next day, coming in with drinking 3 cups of coffee just to survive. But I made an appearance last week. You know, shout out to my man Brad. Shout out to my other man Brad that I grew up with, Cornbread, Earl, and me. You know what I'm saying? But
Larry Fishburne. A lot of people don't know about that. It's a dope soundtrack, by the way.
Oh yeah, I sampled some joints from that. Yeah.
What'd you sample it for?
Some underground stuff, you know. Of course.
Tell the viewers why would you sample something?
Why would I sample something? Well,
are you a rapper?
I come from an era, right? No, let me be real, because me and Trey was talking about this earlier. You know, times has evolved. You know, a lot of people do different things. And I'm not comparing to different things, but it was our lifestyle. Just like, just as much as we played, half ball in the driveway, we banged on the washing machine and rapped, you know what I'm saying? We wrote graffiti, as much as I disagree with that now, you know what I'm saying? We break danced, you know what I'm saying? It was just an evolution, it was part of my DNA.
Hey, Pacquiao was watching this fight tonight, really hoping the outcome was going to be different.
Right.
But the pound for pound Picasso, once again, proved to be too masterful in the ring for an all-time great, future Hall of Famer who has beaten many big names in boxing, Shane Mosley. I mean, we've had so many different takes on the fight. A lot of people felt Mosley was going to come out and just be so dominant and prove to be too strong, too fast, and too much for Floyd to handle. Some people thought Floyd was going to come out and be the money made from his entire career. Some people like Emmanuel Stewart had it as a pick and fight. So it was many varying points of views going on to this fight as to what was going to be the outcome. And early on in the fight, it was very drama filled. The first round, some people had it even. I had it for Floyd.
I had it for Floyd, and then after I guess the second round, I said maybe even, especially after Harold picked it. He
gave it to Shane. Harold gave it to Shane.
Because it was like Shane kind of controlled the first half, Floyd kind of dominated the second half to me.
Harold felt Shane landed the telling punches, the more, the harder blows.
Right.
And that second round came along, and we had a fight party in here, and everybody erupted because it was obvious there was a lot of Shane fans in here. Second round, I really felt like, wow, are we gonna see that Ogo? When Shane landed that right hand, it just landed really crushing on Floyd, and then Floyd was hurt. You could kind of see Floyd's leg was rubbery, and there was another exchange, and Shane got the better of it again. And I think that's when Shane started getting a little anxious. And you pointed out, I missed that whole scene where he said that Floyd was like, "I ain't going nowhere. I ain't going nowhere." And Floyd was, he shortened the distance between Shane's punches and himself. So Shane wasn't able to be effective. He wasn't at the end of Shane's punches. And we know Shane is not really a short puncher. And Floyd, from then on, he started fighting the smart fight, and we saw the masterpiece.
I think we in the presence of greatness, man. Like, I don't want to be, and Train always talks about how he missed the Michael Jordan show because he hated on him so much. You know what I'm saying? And y'all know I call it like it is, like I always do. I would say I have more of a lineage with a Shane Mosley than I do with a Floyd Mayweather.
Because you've seen Shane fight earlier
on, but
you saw Floyd fight early on too.
Yeah, I did, but you know, I was a Shane fan first. So if they probably had met, but I was flabbergasted with both of them. You know what I'm saying? And, but I've never seen someone do what Floyd does. Now, mind you, I always understood that Shane was a bad matchup for Floyd Mayweather. I call Kobe Bryant LCD, the least common denominator. Michael Jordan is a way better basketball player to me. And Kobe is an extension of what Michael Jordan did the second half of his career. But I've never seen anybody simplify a basketball game like Kobe Bryant. He simplifies it to the point where it looks simple. Like he's not even moving fast. He does that little misdirection in the paint. This is when he's not hurt. He does that. Floyd is the lowest common denominator in basketball. A lot of these dudes is doing long division. Floyd just breaks it down to the simplest form, man. And you know, the early rounds, just like Docs was saying, Floyd came out trying to knock this guy out. He banged with him.
I picked Shane to win this fight because I believed in the Nazim Richardson factor. I believed that he was going to come in and change the spots. That's what I thought. I thought he was going to come in and make him throw a jab. I thought he was going to come in and make him fight a little dirty, use some of the Bernard Hopkins tactics, you know, hit, like Train said in another episode, hit what's available. You know, if he's got the shoulder up, hit him in the shoulder, wear that arm down, hit him in the hips. And at first it seemed like he was going to do that in the first couple of rounds. Whenever they would clinch, we all saw it. Shane would batter him to the body in the clinches and keep fighting. Floyd was holding on and getting punched all in the body for the first couple of rounds. Once the third round hit, every time they clinched, we saw Shane wasn't fighting out of the clinches. And even Nazim told him, you got to start punching out of the clinches because he's punching out of the clinches. He's catching you every time out of that clinch. At that point, it just looked like Shane was a deer in headlights.
One thing that Shane had trouble doing is counterpunching.
Right.
You know, it was almost like Shane was afraid to, you know, get off first because he felt like.
But that's going into the third. But the early rounds, like I was telling my man Corey, I was like, Floyd looked a little sloppy because he was committing a lot early, trying to walk Shane down. Shane caught him with the big shot, and we saw the heart of a champion. And this is no bandwagon type of behavior going on here. We just calling it like it is. You saw this man get hit with a crushing shot, then another one. Then he started doing something that was real important, like Doc says. He put the defense up, but he was shorting the distance. Every time Shane would cock, he would short and crowd him. Even before that, we talked about the strength of Floyd Mayweather. When they would clinch, Shane never backed him up one time. I've been telling y'all this for the last couple of weeks. Floyd is a lot stronger than what people think. He's a very strong, athletically gifted person. He shortened the distance. He kept shortening the distance, and he told him, I ain't going nowhere. When I saw that, I started applauding. I was like, this dude got heart.
I said earlier, Floyd would have fought in an era where he was forced to fight with fighters like Aaron Pryor and Leonard and Hagler and Hearns and Duran back to back to back to back. Within the span of 3-4 years. I don't think Floyd would be the fighter that we have now. He's picking and choosing his fights.
We're in a different time, but we're seeing a guy who neutralizes people, and he neutralizes people with his tremendous skill set and his reflexes. Like I was telling him earlier, the HP commercial, the Hewlett-Packard commercial told you everything.
The AT&T commercial,
it might have been an AT&T commercial. That computer laptop commercial, whatever it was, about the Wi-Fi, whatever, tells you everything you need to know about Floyd. This is all Floyd. Back in the day, they think you get punked if they make you jump. Floyd thing is, he reacts immediately as soon as you moves, and he counters.
Floyd goes into that defensive shell. A lot of people talk about how, when he does all that stuff, the shoulder, getting hit in the shoulder. What people don't realize is really scientific. What Floyd does is the equivalent of what Jimmy Rollins, baseball player, and former MVP from the Philadelphia Phillies, I had to talk with him, and he told me, I was asking, I ran into him and we was talking.
You just ran superstar World Series athlete.
Just happened to run into him. Okay. He was telling me that.
Heard you ran to Barkley too. You got an interesting story.
Yeah, we do. I was asking him, like, yo, how is it that how can you hit those pitches, those breaking balls? And he said there's a science to figuring out the release of a pitch. He says the way a pitcher releases a pitch, you know, whether it be up here on the side or lower, you can kind of guess the trajectory of it, and you can swing away. You know how that ball is going to cross the plate. Floyd is sitting here in the pocket, and he's sitting there in his Philly shell. It's called a Philly shell, by the way. I don't know if y'all knew. Most fighters, when they peekaboo, they don't see all the punches coming. They just shell up. Floyd is sitting there looking at all the angles that you throw.
Why do they call it a Philly shell?
I don't know. I think Philadelphia fighter pioneered that.
Okay.
What's my man's name? Georgie Benton was one of the. Shout out to Blackbird Sugar. He put me up on that. Georgie Benton was one of the guys that used to fight out of the Philly shell.